Yesterday and the day before, we basically multiplied and divided fractions. Now, they included way more than like middle school fractions. So here's how we would do middle school fractions. Let's just put 2/3 times 1/2. Now, I would actually cross stuff out and get a third, but you just multiply straight across. That's basically what we did yesterday. That would be 2, that would be 6, and then we would reduce it, okay? Or you could have just crossed things out and had 1/3. But that was multiplying. Then yesterday, we divided. Say I have 2/3 divided by 1/2. So what did we do yesterday? We would keep, change, flip. Of course, we did it on an algebra 2 level. And then I would flip it. So I would get 4/3. Okay? Now today, and again, it's not going to be just fractions, but say that I had 2/3 plus 1/2. What's wrong with that? Whenever you're adding or subtracting, you have to have a common denominator. That means a like denominator, something that matches the same number. That one is a 3 and that one is a 2. But if you multiply them both to get to a number 6, then you can add them. So what would I need to multiply this by? 2. You have to multiply top and bottom. Do y'all remember doing this in middle school? I don't know what grade it is. So you would get 4/6. That is the exact same number. I multiplied the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. Because if I reduce this, it is that. Okay? Same thing over here. What do I multiply this one by to get to 6? 3. So I would have 3/6. 3 out of 6 is 1/2. Okay, same thing. Now you can add them. So what's 4 plus 3? 7, and you leave your denominator. Okay? That's what we're going to do today on an algebra 2 level. All right? So we have to get a common denominator or a like denominator. So, see how important all that basic stuff was a long time ago? We're using it now. Let me get my book. And y'all don't forget, let's see, y'all's quiz. Did I say it's next Thursday over all this? Yeah. And we're doing great on time. Let's see, where are we? Adding and subtracting. Oh, no, I went too far back. Here they are. All right, so I think I'll start with just finding, let me see. I'm going to see if I want to do these. I don't really like that problem.
Whenever you add the fractions, like the 4/6 plus the 3/6, would it be you just add the top?
Add the top and keep the bottom. Okay. When you're multiplying and dividing, we just multiply it straight across. But yeah, when you're adding, you end up only adding the top number. I'm just debating on this first problem, y'all. I don't even understand why they're doing this. I think they're making it more difficult. Yeah, I'm going to just dive into the actual problem. I think it'll be easier than the other. Okay, here we go. Here is our addition problem. I have x over x minus 1, and I'm going to add this other one. 2x minus 1 over a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and these do take a while, and they do take a lot of paper. But it's all algebra stuff, okay? So on this one, just like yesterday and the day before, the first thing you need to do is factor everything, okay? Well, I say everything, especially mainly the denominator. All right, so does everybody see? This one I can't do anything with, but this one I need to see how close these denominators match. All right, that's what you're trying to do. So I'll leave this one alone. And That's a plus sign. It ran together. I'm going to factor this one. So what goes at the front? X and X. And what times what is 2? Well, it's just 1 and 2, but they both have to be what? Negative. So here, I'll write it right here. See, it's just 1 times 2, but that adds up to a positive 3. I need them to add up to a negative 3. So negative 1 and negative 2. Is everybody okay so far? Yeah? Now, do y'all see our denominators are pretty close? They both have what? X minus 1. All right, and I don't think we're not doing any restriction. Oh, wait, we will later. Okay, so they both have an X minus 1. I'm missing on the left side something. What am I missing? X minus 2. So guess what I'm going to put in there? An X minus 2. So what I'll do is, I would write it second. I don't have enough room, so I'm just going to write it right here for now. Okay, what I do to the bottom, though, I have to also do to the top. Remember when I did those fractions a little bit ago, I multiplied the top and the bottom, numerator and denominator. So I'm going to multiply that by X minus 2. Is everybody okay with that? I'm just, yeah.
Wait, so you're multiplying everything about?
Yeah, so whatever was missing, like this one has X minus 1 and X minus 2. This one has X minus 1. What does it need?
Okay, sorry.
X minus 2. So if I put it down here, I also have to put it up here. Because basically it would cancel out. All right? Now I'll give y'all a second to write that down. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Now, my denominators, I don't want to FOIL them out or anything. I want to leave them because later we may cancel some stuff out. Okay? But what are our restrictions while we're right here? They can't be what? 1 and 2. Okay? X can't be 1 and X can't be 2. So it does ask. I didn't think it did. But if it does, y'all know how to do that. Now, the numerators, though, I'm ready to combine it. Everything up top. But what do I need to do with this X first? Distribute it. Okay? Now, my denominators, like I said, they're simplified. They're factored out. Let's leave them. I've got to prepare, though, to combine the numerators. Because that's what Lily asked about. What did we do with that 3 and that 4? We added. We got 7. Okay? So, in the numerator, I would have X squared. Where'd that come from? X times X. And then what's X times negative 2? Negative 2X. And then what am I doing with the rest of the numerator? I'm going to add it. So I'm going to have plus 2X minus 1. And then here's my denominator. And I'll stop and let y'all look at that and make sure you understand.
So you don't have to write like all of them since they're the same now.
On
the denominator.
Oh yeah. You only write it once. Just like in our thing, we had what was it? 3 over 6 and 4 over 6, and it ended up being 7 over 6. Yeah, we just leave it the exact same. Okay. So what happens to these middle two terms? They cancel out. So watch. Now that's what the whole point of all that was, just to combine those. So now I have a problem like earlier in the chapter, like several days ago.
Oh, never mind. I got it.
Okay. What does the numerator look like? Something you can what? Factor. So it's like back and forth. We factor, and then we distribute, and then we combine, and we factor again now. So that's a difference of perfect squares. If y'all can't remember that, that means it's X plus 1, and then what? X minus 1. And then let me write my denominator. And what happens? Yeah, these two match. They're the same thing, so I'm going to cancel them out, and then I can write my final answer. So there is our whole problem. It just looks like a foreign language, doesn't it? And that's essentially what we're doing today. They have another problem, and it looks like it's supposed to be easier, but I don't even know what they did. So I'm just going to skip it. Okay. Y'all ready for another one? How is that? Is it terrible? No?
I'm doing it by myself. Like
We're going to do several, and then I've got some for y'all to try. I mean, but that's it. I think all we're doing today is adding, and then tomorrow we're subtracting, and then I'm going to show you one that I would never put on your test, but that's miserable. I will show you one. But I wouldn't put it on your test, but I do feel the need to just show y'all that terrible problem. But anyway, okay, so let's just do some more addition. Let me do another. I was going to say something, but I'm not. I don't want to confuse y'all. Okay, here we go. The next one, because I'm going to need more paper. I will do this one. I've got x plus 1 over x minus 1 plus negative 2 over x squared minus x. Okay, so all that we need to do is factor the denominator. All right, since we're adding, we need to see what all the parts are. This one is basic. I can't factor that. This one looks different, but what can I factor out? I can factor something out. An x. Yeah, they both have an x. Okay, everything else I'm going to write the same. So I'm just bringing down all these other things. And I'm going to factor out an x. What does that mean is left over? If I take that x, one of those x's, what's left over? An x minus, and then, well, I took the x out, so it's a 1. So our x divided by x is what? 1. It's basically dividing an x out.
I didn't get that at all.
Okay, look, I'm going to write it over here. X squared minus x. If you factor something out, that means you're dividing it out. So what is x squared divided by x? That's just an x. Because what is x times x? X squared. So when you're dividing it out, you subtract how many x's there are. So what's 2 minus 1? So that's why I have 1x. Bring down my minus sign. What's x divided by x? What's 3 divided by 3?
1.
What's 4 divided by 4? What's x divided by x? 1. Okay? So that's why. Think about it the other way. Distribute it back. What is x times x? X squared. What is x times 1? X. Or yeah, so it's going to be negative x. So, like, it's just the opposite of distributing it. Are we kind of okay? A little bit. I know that it's kind of confusing, especially when you add all this in. Here's the nice thing. You kind of get something that matches, and that's what you're looking for. What do they have that's the same? The x minus 1. So what is this one missing over here? Just an x. That means I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom times what? X. Okay? Now my bottom, I'm going to leave alone. The denominator, let me just write what we have. X and x minus 1. They match. That's the denominator. Okay? Common denominator. There it is. Now the top, we're going to combine it all together. But I have to take the x and distribute it, just like last time, okay? I'll give y'all a second. I'm trying to go slow for y'all. So before I distribute it, do y'all want to say what the restrictions are? If it asks, this one asks, or does it? Yeah, there's 0 and 1. How did we get 0? Well, anytime it's just a variable, it's 0. Then that one is 1. So x cannot be 0 or 1. Okay, now let's distribute this. What is x times x? X squared. And then what is x times 1? 1x, so I'm just going to write x. And then I have plus negative 2. Or minus 2.
Oh, wait, so it's just 1x each.
What, you didn't get the distributing it
I don't get any of it.
from up here to here?
The second one.
Let's see, I'm trying to think. Like right in here?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get why I had to multiply by x?
I do, but then I don't know where it went whenever you just wrote the denominator.
Okay, if the denominator's the same, you're combining it. Here it is. Okay, there it is right there. All right, think of it as a fraction. Look, I'm going to step away from this. If I have 3/4 plus 3/4, what's 3 plus 3?
Oh, 6, sorry.
6/4. I did not write 4 plus 4. I did not write 8. I did not write. I just combined. That's how you combine fractions. When they have the same denominator, you just write the denominator. This is no different. It's just on a high school level. Okay? This denominator matches this denominator now. So when I add them, guess what? Here it is. I just rewrite the denominator one time. And you add these two things. See, didn't I add the top? 3 and 3 was 6. I'm going to add these two things. But before I do, Hannah Catherine, we want to distribute that out. X times x was x squared. X times 1 was 1x. And then I brought down plus -2. But I'm not done. But that gets you to this step, okay? We're going to do several of these. Now, what did we do on the other problem? We're hoping to cancel some stuff out. So now we just distributed, and now we're going to go backwards again and factor. So I will do 2 parentheses, and then again, I'm just bringing over my denominator. So this is a -2. I've got x and x. What times what is -2, but it adds to 1? But that would, a -2 and +1 would add to -1. So it's a +2 and -1. I don't know what all I heard, but +2 and a -1. Because what is 2 times -1? -2. What is 2 plus -1? A +1, which is right there. Okay? Does anything cancel out? Those do. So I just get, for my answer, x plus 2 over x. Okay? We'll do another one. I think I like that one. Let's see. I have x over x squared minus 4 plus 1 over x plus 2. I'll let y'all write that down and then we'll go over this one. Let me see how they look on your paper. I do have one that looks pretty tough. Okay. All right, so on this one, let's factor out, that's the only thing I can factor out, the bottom left. So, I'm going to write all these down. A difference of squares, so it's x and x, and then what are the two numbers? They multiply to -4. Yep, a +2 and a -2. Okay? Is everybody good with that? So, before I can add them together, they have to match. They both have x plus 2. So what do they need? What does this one need? An x minus 2. So I will multiply the bottom and the top by the x minus 2. So now that the denominators match, I only have to write it one time, right? So I have.
Wait till you please.
Okay. I still see a few writing. I'll wait a second. Y'all don't be scared to speak up. Are you good? Okay. All right, so my denominator, I'm just writing it down, x plus 2, x minus 2. Everybody good with that? Now, I want to combine my whole numerator, but first I need to make sure I don't need to distribute anything, which this one's pretty basic. It's just 1 times all that. So I'll bring down my x and I'll bring down my plus sign. And then what's 1 times x? 1x, there we go. And then what's 1 times the negative 2? Negative 2. So can I combine any of those things? Let's see, what's x plus x? 2x. So I have 2x minus 2. And some people, and I'll stop, I'll let y'all catch up. Some people would want to stop here, but there actually is one more step in your numerator, okay? Y'all need a second to write though?
Wait, our restrictions just 2 and negative?
Oh yeah, so it might ask for restrictions. Does this one? This one does. So yeah, your restrictions are 2 and negative 2.
When do you take your restrictions? Do you wait till the very end?
As soon as your denominator matches, that's when you would do it. Yeah, if you wait till the very end, something may have canceled out, and that was a restriction at some point. So you want to write all of them that it could possibly be. Now, does anybody see anything in the numerator that could be simplified or factored out?
2.
A 2. They both have a 2. Do y'all see that? So I would just divide both of those things by 2. What's 2x divided by 2? X. Bring down my minus sign. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. And then, oh, I still don't have anything that matches though. So that's it. That's your answer. You could have left it actually like this. You could have, your answer could be like this. I just thought it might factor out and cancel out, but it didn't. They actually write it a different way, but I'm not gonna, like, any of those answers are fine. Are we good with that? Yeah, and just nothing canceled out on that one. So, all right, I think I'm gonna do one more that's a little bit more difficult. I'm not gonna do subtraction yet though. Yeah, I think I'll do 20. Let me see. Okay. All right, let's see. I have 5x over x squared minus x minus 6 plus 4 over x squared plus 4x plus 4. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I heard y'all. I just didn't realize what you said. So on this one's like your third problem that you're going to do. I'm only giving y'all 3 problems on this sheet today. But the third problem, notice, actually your third problem's, I don't know, I think y'all can handle it, we'll see. I have to factor both of these things, right? So I've got 5x, and let me factor, what does this become? X and x. And then what are my other 2 numbers?
3 and 2.
They're going to be 3 and 2. Which one's going to be negative? Negative 3 and a positive 2. And if you need to, y'all, just come to the side. 5 crossed my mind. 2 crossed my mind. And 3. List them if you need to, right? And then which ones add up to negative 1? Well, it's going to be the negative 3 and the 2. Now let's come over here and factor this and hope some of these match. So I have x and x, and then what are the other 2? Oh gosh, this one's awful. Okay. Everybody good so far? It's not awful. It's not. It's not easy though. Okay, so they both have an x plus 2. All right. What does this one need?
X minus 3.
Okay, so let me write that down. An x minus 3. Is everybody okay with that?
If we can take a pause.
Yep.
Write it.
I'm waiting. Sorry, I just want to give everybody a chance to write it down. We still have one more. Well, we have several steps, but are we ready? Not yet.
Where did the x minus 3 at the top come from?
Okay, so this one only, okay, these weren't here. The x minus 3s weren't here, okay? This one I factored from here, and I got x plus 2 and x plus 2. Okay, so then we have to start matching the denominators. So I can tell this one has an x minus 3. Does this one? No. So I put it over here. Remember, what you do to the top, the bottom, you have to do to the top, okay? So I put that over here. Now let's go to the left side. It's missing something. What is it missing?
X plus 2.
An x plus 2, right? They have to completely match before I can add them together, all right? So this one has x plus 2, x plus 2, x minus 3. This one has x plus 2, needs an x plus 2, and then it would have an x minus 3. So I'm going to put the x plus 2 up here and down here. Now, do they match? They do. Is it terrible? It's not terrible. It is. It's a lot of, it's a back and forth. That's the hard part. I'll let everybody write that down, and then I'm going to write my denominator. So my denominator is x plus 2, x plus 2, x minus 3. They match, so I'm going to write it down. All right, now, or do I need to write it for a second? Okay. I'm hungry. I think my stomach's going to start growling in this video, and that's okay. So, okay, now we're going to distribute just like before. I just have two things on the left side and the right side, okay? So, what is 5x times x? Yep, that's right. 5x squared. Okay, and then what is 5x times 2? 10x, so I'm going to write that. And we're adding over here. I'm just going to put a plus sign. Tomorrow that's going to change, but we're going to wait till tomorrow for that, okay? So then I got to do the same thing. I got to do 4 times x, which is 4x, and then 4 times negative 3 minus 12. Okay? Now, let's see. I'm going to combine what I can. Oh, is that awful? That's awful. Sorry, I didn't know what I got us into. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Can I combine the middle two? 5x squared. What's 10 plus 4? 14x minus 12. And then here's our denominator. Oh, and we could, if it asks for restrictions, it does say restrictions. What would they be? Negative 2 and 3. Okay, now on this one, do they leave it like this? Oh, they just leave it like this. Okay, I thought we were going to have to, because it would be granny glasses, and I'm not sure that this one factors. So thankfully, they just leave your answer like this and don't make you factor this one. I thought we were about to have to granny glasses, factor it out and cross, but we don't. They were nice. Okay, So that one's done. How would you know to do that? It'd probably be multiple choice. Okay. The only one I'm concerned about, I'll work number 5 in a minute. Do y'all want to try 2 of these? Look, I'm going to tell you to try 3 and 4. Numbers 1 and 2, I didn't do those. I honestly think it's a waste of time. I think it's trying to help you figure out what your denominator's supposed to be, is what I think numbers 1 and 2 are. I didn't really understand what they were getting at. So we're going to skip 1 and 2, okay? They're supposed to be easy, but I didn't see any. So y'all are going to do 3 and 4. Yay, they're multiple choice, so you'll see if you get the right answer, okay? And then number 5 is probably a challenging one that I want y'all to attempt. I'm about to attempt it myself. I don't know. Then the back page, that's tomorrow's stuff. Those have subtraction signs, okay? We're going to take this slow because these take a little while. Oh, hold on.
I turned that paper in yesterday.